We'll never forget the out-of-nowhere Cinderella stories, like 1985's Villanova team, cold-blooded last-second buzzer beaters, like the assassin Christian Laettner for Duke, and heartwarming moments of triumph, like NC State's Jim Valvano running around the court celebrating. Where these moments happen has a few different names. The Big Dance, the men's NCAA basketball tournament, March Madness. But in 2011, the madness infected America in the worst way. If anything came to define the big stage that spring, both within the tournament and in the wider public eye, it's unwatchable disappointment. This is the worst March Madness. The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship, Houston, Texas, April 4th, the year of our Lord 2011. It's the last play before halftime, and Butler's Shelvin Mack drills a three-pointer at the buzzer. Bulldog fans lose their mind. Exciting, right? Wrong. Look at the score, 22-19. This is a championship game between two strong offenses, and 22-19? That's rec league. Oh, but don't just take my word for how bad things got in the first half.
First of all, I'm going to be honest. It's the worst half of basketball I've ever seen in a national championship game.
That was an awful half of basketball.
And why did the universe do this to us? Let's go back a month to understand how we got here. February 26th, 2 p.m., Butler University's regular season ends. Head coach Brad Stevens is 34 years old and looking to lead his Bulldogs back to the NCAA championship after a this close last-second championship loss to Duke the previous year. Even without Gordon Hayward, now an NBA rookie, Butler remains a small school doing big things. February 27th, 8:30 p.m., the 83rd Academy Awards. James Franco and Anne Hathaway host.
Wow. This is actually happening. Okay.
It's brutally painful television, though it is eventually somehow topped.
Moonlight, Best Picture.
March 5th, 2 p.m., UConn's regular season ends. Head coach Jim Calhoun is literally twice as old as Butler's Brad Stevens and leading the Big East powerhouse Huskies, who, with star guard Kemba Walker, just keep winning.
Kemba Walker!
March 7th, 2.5 men's Charlie Sheen loses everything but insists he's winning.
Duh.
March 10th, 10 p.m., Jersey Shore. Vinny gets a spray tan and Sammy gets mad at Mike for being shady.
Bye!
March 12th, NFL owners lock out the players with no end in sight. March 13th, 9 p.m., Celebrity Apprentice 4. Meatloaf, Jose Canseco, and Gary Busey are getting after it.
1 and 1 equals 2.
You're fired.
March 13th, 6 p.m., Selection Sunday. Butler's an 8 seed in the Southeast, UConn's a 3 seed in the West. March 14th, Aflac fires Gilbert Godfrey as the voice of the Aflac Duck after his terrible Twitter jokes about the Japanese earthquake and tsunami. Also March 14th, 13-year-old Rebecca Black's Friday is released. March 17th, 12:40 p.m., Butler center Matt Howard with a huge heads-up play for a last-second tip-in win as Butler ekes by Old Dominion 60-58. Same day, 7:20 p.m., UConn obliterates a clearly overmatched Bucknell 81-52. Later that night at 10 p.m., Vinny anxiously undergoes an ear piercing at the t-shirt shop, and Paulie proclaims that Vinny looks, quote,
Oh, you're looking fresh to death, bro.
March 18th, Netflix announces their plan for their first original drama series called House of Cards. This is Netflix before it owned your life. March 19th, 7:10 p.m., Pitt's Nasir Robinson carelessly fouls Matt Howard 90 feet from the basket with under a second to play to lose an almost sure thing overtime game as Butler barely edges number 1 seed Pitt 71-70. Same night, 9:40 p.m., UConn's Kemba Walker catches fire for 16 points in the final 10 minutes as the Huskies pull away from a tough Cincinnati team 69-58. March 20th, 9 p.m., Gary Busey and Jose Canseco lose track of time and hurt the rest of their team. Come on, guys.
You're fired.
March 21st, the music video for Rebecca Black's Friday has been viewed more than 30 million times on YouTube. March 24th, 6 p.m., Jeff Foxworthy's Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is canceled due to low ratings. America collectively realizes no, we are not smarter than a fifth grader. Later that night, 7:15 p.m., UConn's Kemba Walker and Jeremy Lamb nearly outscore the Kawhi Leonard-led San Diego State by themselves with a combined 60 points as the Huskies outlast the Aztecs 74-67. A little later, 9:57 p.m., Butler completely smothers Wisconsin's leading scorer and future NBA player John Lure, holding him to 3 points on 12 shots as the Bulldogs take down the Badgers 61-54. Same night, 10 p.m., Ronnie and Vinny have an electric dance-off, and then Ronnie and Sammy get into another fight.
You got busted.
March 25th, the movie Sucker Punch is released to much fanfare and is absurdly bad. March 26th, 4:30 p.m., a few days after Florida ends Jimmer Fredette's BYU career, Butler survives the 2-seed Gators, overcoming an 11-point deficit with 9 minutes to play to win 74-71 and reach the Final Four. Same night, 7:05 p.m., a couple days after Arizona flattens Kyrie Irving and Duke, UConn barely gets by 5-seed Arizona 65-63, and they reach the Final Four. March 27th, 9 p.m., Gary Busey screws up. Little John wins a bunch of money for charity.
You're fired.
March 29th, Rebecca Black's Friday surpasses Justin Bieber's Baby as the most disliked YouTube video ever with 1.16 million negative votes. And with 2 lower seeds now in the Final Four, Butler as an 8 seed and VCU an 11, they'll each get a shot to take down a giant with Kentucky and UConn around. Nope, the little guys have to play each other. Womp womp. So, April 2nd, 6:09 p.m., Butler wins the matchup between these two small schools and become the lowest seeded team since 1985 to make the championship game. Same night, 8:49 p.m., UConn defensively strangles Kentucky, allowing a season-low 21 first-half points as the Huskies ride Kemba Walker and hold off the Wildcats 56-55. April 3rd, 9 p.m., Meatloaf and Gary Busey are at it again, and Loaf really tears into him on this one.
You do not wanna with me!
April 4th, 9 p.m., UConn vs. Butler. The two teams meet. Butler, the quintessential Midwest small school, and UConn, the Big East powerhouse. This is the big one. And then it's really not. Butler shoots 18.8% from the field, the lowest ever in a championship game, and that includes going 3 of 31 on 2-pointers and being outscored 26-2 in the paint. The 94 points total scored was the fewest in a championship game since 1949. The game was so uneventful that this was the only entertaining highlight from the night.
What the f***?
Yes, what the f*** indeed. So we get a final score of 53-41, and the 2011 NCAA tournament ends on a whimper. What we wanted was 2 teams battling at the top of their games and giving us an electric back and forth. Instead, we get graduate-level bricklaying, a lame Nancism at the end,
And the Huskies are the top dog in 2011.
and then one shining moment. The madness of March 2011 didn't end after midnight, as we were promised.
All is true, and there you are. You're running for your life.
We make $12 million a year for this university. Get some facts and come back and see me.
Seems like we got ourselves a nutty situation.
Obviously, it's an honor and a privilege to be here.
Yeah, it's my baby. I started the thing.
You're fired.
Thank you very much.
What we learned from that fateful month in 2011 is that madness can come at any time. Be it a college basketball tournament, Gorilla Juice heads on the Jersey Shore, a girl trying to be a pop star, or a weirdo who wants to be president. We all go a little crazy sometimes. So, good luck out there.